What's up everyone, Whitaker here from Grind City Media, and it's turkey time. Gobble, gobble, gobble. I'm on vacation for Thanksgiving, but I still gotta make a turkey. So let's figure out the easiest way to do this and get a turkey on your table in no time. It's Cooking with Lang, let's go. Today we are making turkey, it's Thanksgiving. It's organic turkey, it's not brined or salted or any of the stuff. You can buy them pre-done. So I'm gonna brine this with a dry brine. I'm just gonna put some salt on it. And also, to make this easier to cook, I'm gonna spatchcock it. Look, cooking a turkey is like cooking a car. It's weird shapes, it's got these odds and ends and things that stick out, and it's huge. It takes a long time to cook. So I'm gonna make it flat, which is gonna make it a lot easier to cook, and it's gonna cook evenly, and it's gonna be crispy on the outside and tender on the inside. It's gonna be awesome. Let's rewind real quick. One thing, if you have not yet done it, I think it's early in the week before Thanksgiving, get your turkey out of the freezer and let it thaw. You cannot thaw it too soon. It takes a long time to thaw out a turkey. You can't, probably overnight's not enough time. So start now, go ahead and thaw it out. This guy's thawed out. I'm drying off the outside, and I'm gonna flip it over so that I can get at the backbone here. I'm gonna cut out this backbone, and that's what we're gonna use to help make our gravy. I've already got the neck and the giblets, which were inside, but you can see the backbone here. And I'm just gonna use these kitchen scissors and cut alongside the backbone as best I can. You're cracking through bones and stuff, but just be aggressive with it. It's time to get some flavor in this turkey. I'm gonna start by turning this over, bringing this side up so you can see it. And I'm just gonna salt it, like almost like you're right about to put it in the oven. By doing this in advance, it gives the salt some time to work its way in there and really flavor the turkey deeply from the inside. We're gonna leave this overnight in the fridge, sitting out. I know it doesn't quite fit on this sheet pan, but hey, you know what? Life ain't perfect. Sometimes you gotta deal with turkeys in life. And now, to really get some flavor inside it, I'm gonna carefully see where the skin is attached to the breast. Use my fingers to kind of loosen it a little bit and get up inside there so that I can put some salt inside directly on the breast, trying to keep the skin intact. All right, I've got the skin loosened up. I'm using kosher salt because it's big and you can feel it between your fingers, and it does a good job covering. And now I'm gonna put a little pinch of salt up underneath there and rub it in as far as I can, right directly on the turkey breast. Do the same on this side. When this sits in the fridge overnight, it's gonna draw some moisture out of it and dry out a little bit. And it's gonna make the skin even crispier once it goes in the oven. I got another trick that'll help us in that regard also that we'll deal with tomorrow. But for now, this is what we're gonna do. I got one more thing I wanna do. I gotta wash my hands. Let me wash my hands and then we'll get back to this. Last thing, gonna put a little bit of black pepper. Sprinkle a little bit on the skin, get a little flavor. And then the other thing I like to use, and we're gonna cook this at a high temperature tomorrow, so if you used herbs that were fresh, they probably burn. So I've got some sage, that's ground sage. To me, this smells like Thanksgiving. Sage is the perfect Thanksgiving smell. And I'm gonna just sprinkle a little bit of sage on this skin also, so that when we roast it tomorrow, it's gonna have just a little hint of that flavor. And that's it. So now this is gonna go in the fridge for about 24 hours, something like that. And then tomorrow it goes in the oven and we eat. Okay, it's been 24 hours. The turkey's been hanging out in the fridge, and you can see it's really dried out. The skin's kind of tightened up. It's gonna give us a really crispy skin, and all that meat inside there is gonna be flavored beautifully with all that salt. So one other hack we're gonna do here to try to get a little more flavor into the turkey meat is we're gonna use butter. We're gonna use some fat here. And I'm just gonna, the same skin that we lifted up, I'm gonna reach up, push these pats of butter up underneath there as far as I can. And then I'm gonna use my hand to kind of massage it in, spread it out, get it all up in there as far as I can. And then as the turkey cooks, it's gonna melt, it's gonna baste the meat, it's gonna help the skin get crispy too, I think. But I'm gonna put all this butter up in the thighs and the breasts, and then we'll go on and get this in the oven. Finally, it's time to cook our turkey, and we're gonna do it in a way to try and keep it moist and get a head start on our gravy. So in this roasting pan over here, I have the backbone that we cut out of the turkey yesterday. This is the turkey neck. And then there's a couple of Vidalia onions, there's a whole head of garlic, there's celery, carrots, a couple sticks of rosemary, a couple sprigs of thyme, and then I'm gonna add to it some chicken stock. This is low sodium, organic, just enough to kind of get the bottom of the pan wet and give it a little moisture because you don't want things burning in there. The oven is at 450 degrees, which is pretty hot. This is flat. It should cook in an hour. If anything, in like 45 minutes, I'll start taking the temperature, checking on it. Don't want the skin to burn. If the skin starts burning, you can lower it to 350 and let it go the rest of the way until it's cooked through. I'm gonna put this in this and do my best here. I don't think it's gonna fit exactly, but I'm gonna do my best to get it mostly on there and try and keep these within the confines of the pan as much as I can. If anything, I'll put a piece of aluminum foil under it in the oven. But that's it. It's gonna go in the oven now, 450, an hour. I'll check on it. Should be good. About time to eat some turkey. Halfway done, should be. Let's take a look and check it out. You can see the skin starting to get some color on it already. The vegetables are sizzling away. Let's leave it alone. Leave it alone. Close it. All right, turkey. Looks pretty good. How about that? Skin is brown and crisp. And the meat's done. I've been taking the temperature. It's been a little more than an hour, about an hour and 10 minutes. So turkey needs to chill out a little bit before we cut into it. So I'm gonna take this rack out, put that over here, put some foil on top, kind of keep it warmish. And now this is gonna turn into the best gravy you've ever had. Okay, let's make gravy. We have this roasting pan full of vegetables. We have a backbone, we have a neck bone. We're gonna get them right on the heat, get it up to a simmer. We're gonna thicken it with some all-purpose flour. A couple spoonfuls of it go in. Let that cook a little bit, get the raw flavor out, and then you go back in with some stock, just enough to loosen it up. You can get it to whatever thickness you want, get it back to a boil, season it, check for salt, pepper, and you're ready to go. You made gravy. Hey, look at that. We got a turkey, and now I'm gonna carve it. And this should be easier to do than doing a big one that's all still together. But there's a wing. Other wings there. Maybe you hear that skin cracking. There's a thigh. There's a line right there. Separates the drumstick from the thigh. I'm ready to taste. I'm gonna get a piece of this crispy skin. I haven't even put the gravy in a serving dish yet, but I'm dipping in the gravy. It's super moist. You can see on the there's liquid running everywhere because it's so hot. It's perfectly seasoned. The salt we put in there, the butter is melted in there. So good. We just made a turkey for Thanksgiving. It's not even Thanksgiving yet, but we made a turkey. You can do it too. This is Cooking with Lang. Let's go.